Hey, also, what's up, everyone? It's not just your average Joe. So, Mathilda seems to play the role of like the blue Titania. Right off the bat, that's the feeling I get from her. She plays the role of the blue Titania. I'm not sure what weapon she comes with. It's a blue Titania. She's a horse unit, so she's gonna be good regardless. With all the boots, she's fast. That's what's very good about her. She has high resistance, so she can counter those red tome users, which is Celica, Darha. Those two will be the main ones, and then you have Sunaki. So right off the bat, I already know what I want to. It's like the Titania set I have in my head. So she's basically Titania, just blue unit. I don't know what she comes with. Let me check. Rider's Bane. So she comes with two very good sets. She comes with two very good skills. So as a skill in her fodder, she's quite good. She comes with Rider's Bane, which is not too bad, and she comes with Cancel Infinity, which is like the thing about Cancel Infinity is like it doesn't work with the Raven tomes. It only works if there's a Triangle of Death, like on the as a skill slot, right? Any weapon triangle affinity granted by unit skills is negated if affinity disadvantage exists. Weapon triangle affinity granted by foe skills is reversed. Hold on. If affinity disadvantage exists, weapon triangle affinity granted by foe skills is reversed. Okay, so it cancels Triangle of Death, and then it also reverses it. That's the feeling I get from the skill. So as a blue unit, it's not really that helpful in a certain sense because a lot of green units wouldn't like. There are only two units that would carry a Triangle of Death that would be attacking you, and that would be three. There would be Spring Camilla, and you would have Cecilia, and then you would have Julia, right? The Julia potential can have that. Maybe not. So those are the three potential units to carry it. And they're all mages, so it's not particularly useful because I'm pretty sure not a lot of people use it on the melee units. At least not yet. I don't know. So it's not that great, but it's a decent skill to pass over to Bride Cordelia, for example. And even like if they gave that to a Hector, that would totally ruin my strategy because I totally depend on Sunnicate to defeat him and stuff. So, excuse me. So she's quite fast, not the most defensive unit, a decent resistance stat, low attack stat and HP. So she would run. I would like the set personally that I came up with would be Distant Counter. Very very expensive actually. Distant Counter along with I would roll with Sapphire Lance because this role is specifically to counter red tome users, so I would get this to counter Sapphire Lance. You don't have to give Sapphire Lance. If I had to give another, like Rider's Bane is strong and it has its uses currently in the meta, but I would always want to have like another one on the side, like another weapon on the side. You have to fix the low strength, so you'd have to give her Silver Lance. Oh, you could give her Color Lance too. But I'll talk about that later. So Distant Counter, and then I will give her either Threatened Speed or Threatened Defense. And then B slot, definitely I would give either Lance Breaker or Sword Breaker. Yeah, Lance Breaker or Sword Breaker, those are the ones I prioritize. And then the Tome Breakers, because of Distant Counter, you could also give Quick Riposte or Advantage. Those two are also quite good. So as an A slot, let's keep the theme of Titania and go with Sapphire Lance, Silver Lance or Killer Lance. Also, as a support skill, I would give her Reposition, Drawback, or Swap. No rallies at all. That's what I would give, and then her active skill. If you choose the route of like you need a lot of strength, so you need stronger cooldown. So I would either go with Iceberg or Glaciers, especially with the Killer Lance, especially works. So it's kind of like Parry. Parry works very well with with Glacius and Killer Lance. If not, then go for Moonbow or Luna. I would prefer Luna over Moonbow. And then A slot, distant counter. B slot, I would give quick riposte. And then C slot, I would have threaten defense. So that's the set that I would kind of roll with, but her role is to counter Red Tome users. And I don't think they're too big of threats at the moment. I'm not too sure. So, like, that's the set I would want to use. But if you, because that's, it seems like, because Titania's role as a resistance-based Cavalier, she can't really go up against melee units, right? So you might as well stick to her strengths, which is her resistance stats, so she can take blue hits easily. Like, if a Titania had distant counter, she'd be a pretty good counter to Reinhardt's. Like, in the arena, Reinhardt's would get, they want to get dismantled, but she would take almost nothing and she would dish out a lot back. Like, she's quite good at doing that. And this is counter effects, you always have advantage. It's almost always like one of those things. Yeah, like, that's the only role I can see her having. I mean, the speed stat's not high enough. The attack stat's definitely not high enough. Resistance is okay, and like, that's the only role I can see her having. So yeah, that's the one I would use. I can't really think of any other role. Like, you could give her Fury, and then give her advantage, or you can give her Desperation, one or the other. Because that would increase her resistance stat a lot more. Then Glacius would be stronger, etc., etc. Desperation would be better, actually. And then you give her threat and speed. But those are just all suggestions at this point. That's all I got. That's all I can see. So yeah, sorry for the lateness of this video, but this is what I got. So thank you for watching. Later days.